In this video, we're going to explore one specific property of the cross product that helps us understand how the cross product is related to the two vectors whose product we're finding. So we have a theorem that tells us the following. Suppose that A and B are two vectors in space. And we'll say that they're non-zero vectors. In space, which we denote as R3. Then the cross product A cross B will be a vector orthogonal, which also means perpendicular to both A and B. So we have a little bit more of a feeling of what kind of vector we're obtaining when we do a cross product of two vectors. Let's show why this is true. So we'll do a short proof of why this has to be the case. So recall that to show that two vectors are perpendicular, let's say U and V, we know U is perpendicular or orthogonal to V if and only if the dot product between those two vectors is equal to 0, because the angle between them is 90 degrees, and the dot product is also defined as the magnitude of U times the magnitude of V times the cosine of the angle between them, and cosine of 90 is 0. So to do a proof for our theorem here, we're going to show that the result A cross B dotted with A will be 0. And when we take A cross B and find the dot product with B, we will also get 0. This will tell us that A cross B is perpendicular to both A and to B. We are only going to prove it, we're going to do the dot product with A. We're going to prove the first part here. We're going to show this, because the second part we can show in a very similar way. Okay, so let's recall that A cross B, imagine that we've done the determinant and we have found the components of A cross B, and those components are A sub 2. Here I'm going to specify that A has components A1, A2, A3, as in the previous video, and B has components B1, B sub 2, and B sub 3. Then A cross B is A sub 2, B sub 3 minus A sub 3, B sub 2. That is the first component of this vector. The second component is A3, B1 minus A1, B3. And the third component is A1, B2 minus A2, B1. That comes from doing the determinant with A and B. So let's find the dot product of A cross B with A. So that means we're going to take this vector, A2B3 minus A3B2, A3B1 minus A1B3, so our cross product, and we're going to form the dot product with A. And what we want is we want to make sure that this will give us 0, because that will mean that the cross product is orthogonal to A, to vector A. All right, so if we do this algebraically, by the definition of dot product, we're going to multiply corresponding components and add. So the first product will be A sub 1 times A2B3 minus A3B2 plus A sub 2 times A3B1 minus A1B3 plus A sub 3 times the third component of the cross product, which is A1B2 minus A2B1. And recall that the dot product is commutative, so the order in which I do these multiplications does not matter. So now we have, I'm going to distribute. These are all scalars. So we're going to get A1, A2, B3 minus a1, a3, b2 plus a sub 2, a sub 3, b sub 1 minus a sub 2, a sub 1, b sub 3 plus a3, a1, b2 minus a3, a2, b1. And now we're going to see if we have any like terms. So here's a1, a sub 2, b sub 3. And this is a minus a1, a2, b3 in a different order, but order of multiplication doesn't matter because multiplication of real numbers is commutative. So these two will cancel out. A negative a1, a3, b2 and positive a1, a3, b2 here, those will cancel out. And a2, a3, b1, negative a2, a3, b1, those will also cancel out. So we do in fact get 0 from the dot product. When the dot product is 0, that means that A cross B is orthogonal to vector A. And we can do the same thing for the second part, follow the same steps, and we will show also that A cross B is orthogonal to B. Because it's a very, very similar proof, I'm not going to write it out here, but you're welcome to do that. But we will also see, you can also see that A cross B is orthogonal to vector B. Now, let's see if we can visualize what's going on. Imagine that here we have vector A and vector B. To visualize the cross product, we're going to use our right-hand rule. We're going to visualize A cross B, which means that we start with A. Imagine lining up the palm of your right hand along vector A, and then curling your fingers towards vector B. Your thumb is going to point to the cross product A cross B. So you should get your thumb will be perpendicular to the two vectors A and B, and that will give you the visualization for what the cross product of A and B looks like. Now, if we did instead B cross A, this time we would start at B. Imagine lining up the palm, this is much harder to do, but the palm of your right hand still at B. Curl your fingers towards, start here, curl your fingers towards A, and your thumb is going to point to B cross A. So you should see that we get a vector that points in exactly the opposite direction as A cross B. And we saw in the previous video, in fact, that A cross B and B cross A have the same magnitude but point in opposite directions. So here for B cross A, start at B. So your palm of the right hand goes to B and curl your fingers towards A. And your thumb will point to B cross A. And so now we have a visual representation of the cross product. So the key idea here is that when we take the cross product between two vectors, we will get a vector that's perpendicular to both. Direction matters. If we change the order in which we're doing the dot product, we're just going to get a vector in the opposite direction, but still perpendicular to both vectors that we're doing the cross product. In the next video, we're going to do an example.